I'm telling you to do something. Ek sal jou push slap gee.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Ronaldo here. So this video is going to focus on an incident that took place this past weekend at a Spur restaurant in the south of Johannesburg. The footage was leaked on the 21st of March, which is also Human Rights Day in South Africa. So without going into too much detail, have a look at the highlights from this video.
Hey, I'm looking through the window and she's hitting my child against the head.
Look here, such a big man, being a pudding.
I'm telling you to do something. Ek sal jou push slap gee.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. You are not paying my money. You too. Fuck you. As who the hell is this? What are you going to do? Fuck you too. Fuck you too. This is a democratic country if you haven't noticed.
Now, after watching that shocking footage, there are two things that come to mind. Firstly, as a man, you never ever raise your hand at a woman, not even to intimidate her. The only thing that you showed by raising your hand at that woman was what an absolute embarrassment you are to men across South Africa. The second thing was the absolute vulgar language used by the parents in front of their children. No self-respecting parent would talk like that in front of their children. If this is how we teach our children to resolve issues in this country, then we are doomed. I also viewed the video a couple of times to see if I could find racism in there, and I simply couldn't. All I saw was two immature adults going on like complete idiots in front of their children. Now, needless to say, this video went viral across South Africa on all social media platforms, and the irony isn't lost on me that this happened on Human Rights Day. It's also quite sad that deep down inside, we all knew that this was going to turn into a racial matter. Because for some reason in this country, people from different races can't just have an argument without it being turned into a racial matter. Now, needless to say, the response on social media was appalling, specifically Twitter, and even more specifically, Black Twitter, as they label themselves. That is where most of the poison was spewed from. The Spur hashtag trended for most of the day, and needless to say, racism was on full display. I took some screenshots of some of the tweets, and I have to stress the following point. This was me searching the hashtag for 10 minutes. So the first handful of tweets I found is what you are going to see right now. Let's see if South Africans can fight this one with the white populace like they do with the xenophobic attacks. White men are trash. Once again, they are let free once they violated black women. The actual truth is, white people are the greatest threat to black people in the same manner that men are the greatest threat to women. My ANC, your failure to deal with whites is why we have the Spur and Helen Zille incidents. Whites got away with everything and we just had to forgive. Funny how most white people speak about not being racist, but after an incident like this, the racist in them just comes out. Criminals kill and hijack the higher people, plus they don't here. Kill the whites. I don't want to hear anything about good white people because the good white people act as a shield for the bad white people. Spur only hires foreigners, so I don't expect the poor staff to stop that big idiot. At least it's clearly evident who the actual bad-mannered abusive foreigners are. And they ain't black. And to quickly move from Twitter to Facebook, I saved the best for last. This is what somebody on Facebook had to say about the incident. Yeah, that was quite bad, and yet I don't see any media outlets reporting on this. Now, it's important to note, as stated earlier, that those were just a handful of tweets that I found within 10 minutes of a hashtag that had over 20,000 tweets. So with that being said, I've got two questions. How did we get from two questionable characters arguing with one another to this being a reflection on white people? And secondly, how are those statements any better than any other racist thing that has occurred in South Africa? I will be the first to admit that the white guy in this video acted like a terrible human being. But how is his actions a reflection on all white people in this country? The way the black lady responded was also deplorable, but you don't see people on Twitter comparing all black people to the way she responded. The problem is, an overwhelming majority of black Twitter is all about racism, hate speech, and stereotyping. They're very quick to call out racism, but then respond with the most vile, racist, and hateful comments. How does that make any logical sense? How is responding to racism with more racism the answer? Now, with all of that being said, I find it quite concerning and ironic that not one single media house has reported on the racism and hate speech that comes out of black Twitter. How is it possible that out of all the things that have been said, not one article has been published on black Twitter? Double standards much? To end off this video, I just want to say that I think that most South Africans would agree that this incident was unfortunate and that both individuals could have handled the situation better. I also believe that most South Africans would agree that the guy was out of control and more at fault here. But there's no doubt that the worst part out of this whole saga was the way that South Africans responded to one another on social media. It's clear to see that we still have a long way to go before we are a true rainbow nation. And that's basically all I've got to say. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you think about the whole Spur incident and the response to the Spur incident. Also be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you agree. Let's see if we can reach 1,000 likes with this video. Also be sure to subscribe, and if you are subscribed, press the bell button below because then you'll be notified of my future videos. Also, please be sure to share this video with your friends and family because that's literally the only way my message gets out there. Till later, cheers and peace out.